Morning. Thursday, January 11th, 2024. Best baseball player of the year, 1978. Jim Rice. I believe it's the second time for Jim Rice. Let's look it up. Jim Rice. I've got him in here. Let's see. Jim Rice. First time. I was thinking of Billy Williams, kind of like similar players. Don't you think Billy Williams and Jim Rice are similar? First time for Jim Rice. He's Hall of Fame. 1978, he won 6 categories. You know, a lot of guys either win 2, 3, 4. Good guys win 5. Some guys win 10, like Babe Ruth. Ty Cobb had like 8 or 9 categories. Jim Rice, 6. Most hits, 1978. 213 hits. Most home runs, 46. Most triples, 15. Most runs batted in, 139. Slugging, 600. And total bases, 406. I like the 400 number. A lot of guys, when they have total bases, are like in the 200s, the average players. 200 total bases for the year. Good players get into the 300s. Very, very good players get into the 350s. But the outstanding players have 400 or more total bases. Only a few guys have done that in a season. Babe Ruth, Hornsby, Williams, Gehrig, I believe, Fox. Very few. Jim Rice, 406 total bases. Led the league. Let's look at his year. 1978, outstanding year. 163 games. You know, it's a 162 game season, so one of them must have been a playoff. Let's see. Jim Rice. 677 at bats. That's a lot. If you can get 600 in a season, he has 677. 121 runs scored. Very good. I remember I told you I like players who have 3 things for a season. 100 runs scored. 4 things, actually. 100 runs scored. 200 hits. 100 or more RBIs. And a 300 or more batting average. Jim Rice, for 1978, 121 runs scored, 1. 213 hits, 2. 139 RBIs, 3. And he bats .315. 4 crucial categories. I like it. He also had 46 home runs. That led the league. 600 slugging led the league. 406 total bases. The only flaw of his 1978 season, struck out 126 times. So, if you want to say, what would be the 5th thing I would like for a player in a season? Strike out 50 or less times in a season. Jim Rice, 126. Did you know that some guys have gone through a whole season 150 games or more, and maybe struck out 3 or 4 times? Did you know that happened? Joe Sewell did that. I believe he struck out 3 times in one season with over 500 at bats. I can look it up real quick for you and let you know. This is a stat that is unbelievable. I just told you Jim Rice struck out 126 times in 1978. but he had an outstanding year where he won 6 categories. I want to compare that with a guy named Joe Sewell, who's in the Hall of Fame. Look at this number here. All right, here it is right here. 1932 season, Joe Sewell. He played 125 games. Okay, but he had 503 at-bats. That's key. He didn't play 162 games like Jim Rice, but he played 125. But he had 503 at-bats. Do you know how many times? You know how many times he struck out that season? 3 times. Incredible. Now listen on this. He had another season. I've got it here. Yeah, this one's even more. 1925 season, Joe Sewell. 155 games. It means he played every day because they played 154 games back in the 1930s. So he had 1 extra playoff game. He had 608 at-bats. You know how many times he struck out? 4 times. Incredible. How does that happen? I play baseball myself. I'm in a senior league, North County, San Diego North County hardball baseball league. We play 9 innings, wood bat, regular baseball. I play 14 games in a season. We have 2 seasons, spring and summer. The spring season is 14 games. I had about 45 at-bats in 14 games. I struck out twice. Joe Sewell, in 1925 season, played 155 games, had 608 at-bats, and struck out 4 times. I just mind-blowing, blows me away. Okay, but we're talking about Jim Rice, right? Not Sewell. Let's go back to Jim Rice because he's the one who won the season. You know, Joe Sewell, I don't know if he has a winning. When we covered the 1930s and 1920s and 30s, I don't believe Joe Sewell won Best Player because he wasn't a home run guy, RBI guy. But Jim Rice, 1978 season, what a year. And he becomes the best baseball player for that year. Combine all the National American League players, he was the best, and he's deserving of Hall of Fame. Played 2,000 games. He had over 8,000 at-bats. Here's a flaw. His career batting average, .298. Man, Jim. If I was him, I would say, I want 300 or bust career. Yeah, 309, 320, 315, 325. His high looks like 324. No, 325 was his high. So he's more of a slugger. He had 2,452 hits. If I was him, I would say, hey, I want to keep playing until I get over 2,500 hits. So he retires at 24:52. Did you know he retired at age 36, Jim Rice? He could have played to 37, 38, 39, and 40, 4 more years. It's possible Jim Rice could have had 3,000 at-bats. But he stopped his career at age 36. 382 homers. You know, another 4 or 5 years, maybe he would have been in the 500 home run club and the 3,000 hit club, and maybe a 300 or better batting average. But he gave it up. Anyways, he's deserving of Hall of Fame. At 1,400 RBIs, 1,200 runs scored. Solid player. 4,000 total bases for his career. Jim Rice. 1978, best player. Next video, 1979. Thanks, I'm out.